Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah, right here. Blaze Street Music in the house. One more again for you. Right here back at you. Another episode of Blaze Street Music going on for you right here this Sunday. Woo. How you guys doing out there in the world? My name is DJ CJ. I'm your man. Blaze Street Music coming to you straight out of Makaha, Oahu, Hawaii. Chee-hoo. And this is Blaze Street Music presents Music of a Lifetime, where I celebrate the music and music culture of my lifetime right here. Welcome here, where I do it all right here. Just so if you've been here, if you've never been here before, let me just give you a quick recap. You know, I began this podcast back in 2022, basically to celebrate the music of my lifetime, everybody. And since then, I've been doing it, you know what I'm saying? I started out counting down the 50 greatest albums and records of my life, but somewhere along the way, I began sharing different talking points, mix sets, and legacy music from some of my music legacy artists and favorite albums, producers, records, everything right here, you know what I'm saying? Music that I've had with me since I was a teenager, and music that I've listened to and adopted since I joined the Navy in 1980. And music that I've loved since I began DJing in 1982. So that's just a little bit of a background of what it is that I'm doing and where you are. Where you at? Where you coming from? I'm coming from the loveliest place on earth right here in Makaha, Oahu, Hawaii. From Blaze Street Studios, where I've been doing my thing here since 1999. But I want to know where you're coming from and how you're enjoying the show and where you at. So hit me up on my studio number, 808-391-5394, please. Just tell me how you're doing. Send me a text. Or you can hit me up on my IG, which is at CJ Beats. That's at CJAAYBEATS. Hit me up right there. Go to my YouTube channel. Check me out there. YouTube, that's at DJ CJ, at DJCEEJAAY. That's where I'm going. I would definitely love to hear from you guys, see how you guys liking my show and what I'm doing. So always, before I get started on my show, I always give thanks and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I always say, I just want to thank you, Lord God, for my love of music and all the great times and cherished moments of my lifetime where you've comforted me, given me joy and strength, and allowed me to share my love of music with the world. But most of all, you spoke to me and reminded me of the love of my family and friends and of the faith that I should always have in you, Lord God. Amen. I'm going to give a shout out to my 808 Ohana right here, to the love of my life, my wife, Doreen, right here in Hawaii, and our wonderful Ohana and our beautiful family. Thank you guys for supporting me, and I always give thanks and praise to her for supporting me in this musical journey mission. Also want to give a shout out to my family back in the 336, back in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 27105, my home back there in Winston-Salem, my neighborhood of Cherry View, and all of my friends and families back there. I also want to give a shout out to my DJ Brotherhood, also known as the DJ Bees. Those cats are the cats I've been DJing with for a long time, over 20 some years. We've been doing all kinds of things all over the world, and cats I even learned from back in the day. So I always give a shout out to your guys too. So right here, right now, before I get started into the program itself, I always got to give my disclaimer. And my disclaimer is this. This music is for entertainment purposes only. And what does that mean? That means that it's for, I do not own any of this music. I don't have any copyright over any of this material. All songs are owned by their respective artists, songwriters, labels, and producers. As I'm playing the songs, I will announce the artists, and at all times, sometimes the labels and producers. All the music that I play on this podcast can be purchased online at places like Apple Music, Amazon Music, other stores. I'm a subscriber to several record pools such as Beat Junkies, Beatport Supreme, DJ City, and I get stuff from Beatport, Track Source, Beat Junkies, Juno UK, and other places, all kinds of places. You know, you guys can purchase some of this. You can purchase all this music because I purchase all of the music. I'm not sponsored by anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is paying for me to play their music. No, there is no ads on here. All the music that I buy is from my money, what I do, and that's it. I support my station. I pay for all of my subscriptions and things that I make to do my flyers and my thumbnails for YouTube. So I just want to say that, you know, that's my disclaimer. I'm a professional DJ and I purchase all of the music that I play here on this podcast, you know, so I just have to say that. All right. So what are we doing? Okay. All right. So I am on episode number 2 or part 2 or episode number 2 of my 3-part series, which is called The Spirit of 76. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, at the end of March, I started up the part 1 of it. And just to give you a recap of what I did with that, The Spirit of 76, what is this about? What am I talking about? I'm talking about music from 50 years ago. I'm talking about music from 1976, when America was celebrating her bicentennial, 200 years. So as we get prepared to celebrate 250 years, I just was thinking, hey, why not go back and do that music from 50 years ago? So I went through my collection, did some digging online, and I just found, 10 records that were really, really huge back in 1976. And I wanted to just share them again with you, just to give a little recap of 50 years ago, things like that was happening. For example, 50 years ago, the unemployment rate in our country was 7%. Gas was around 69 and 96 cents a gallon. Gas here in Hawaii right now, 87 octane on base where I work at is $5.14. That's from 50 years ago. So go from 50 years ago to right now, and you can see where we've come. I mean, yeah, I don't know where we've come. We probably just done some stupid stuff. But anyway, that was then, this is now. All right. So in the first episode, because 1976 was a really pivotal year in the industry, live albums were doing good. Double albums were doing good. Rock was probably the king of the airwaves, no doubt about that. And just so many different things were happening during that time. And I felt like, why not go back and just relive it again and share it with you, because that's what I do here on my podcast. So episode 1, I featured the music of Stevie Wonder with his release called Songs in the Key of Life. I featured Peter Frampton, who did a live album called Peter Frampton Comes Alive that was huge. And I featured also George Benson, who did a top 10 album called Breezing. So for this episode, I'm going to go off into another direction. And this direction is called basically, what is this direction called? I have it on my crib sheet. I'll find it for you in a little bit. But I'm going to feature 4 artists for you, 4 groups, 3 groups and 1 artist. So we're going to talk about the Eagles. We're going to talk about Earth, Wind & Fire, my favorite group. We're going to talk about Fleetwood Mac, and we're going to talk about Boz Scaggs. So how about that? So that's what we're going to do in this episode. So we're back to 1976, February 1976. And what do you say? Let's get started.
Welcome to Blaze Street, where the classics meet the new. 50 years later, the vibe is still so true. In 76, the sound was epic and grand. The architects of soul across the land. From Stevie's genius, a masterpiece was born, a golden standard lighting up the morn. The stadium rock gods came alive on stage, writing history on a brand new page. The groove is heavy and the horns are loud, still making masterpieces for the modern crowd. Blaze Street Music presents Music of a Lifetime. Yeah, music of a lifetime.
Oh yeah, there it is right there. What I'm doing on the podcast for you. Saying it for you loud and clear. What I'm trying to do. So like I was saying, let's go back to it. 1976, February 1976. One of the hottest bands, y'all, in the whole world were the Eagles. They were crazy alive. They were flying high, real high. So from 1971 to 1975, they'd released some of the best music that had ever been made as one of America's iconic rock bands. Could you even call the Eagles America's version of the Beatles? I don't know. Maybe so, maybe not. But they were just that bad. They were, I meant bad meaning good. Yeah, bad meaning good. You've ever heard that before? The Eagles were all of that, y'all. So let's get back to their amazing run. I'm talking about a record that redefined the entire music business in 1976. I'm talking about their greatest hits, which was a compilation of music from 1971 to 1975. But that was the name of the album. It was the Eagles, their greatest hits, 1971 to 1975. Now, usually when the band puts out a greatest hits, it's because they have retired or they run out of ideas. But for the Eagles in 1976, this project was born out of one thing: extreme pressure. Yes, pressure. The band was exhausted, y'all. They had just come off of the One of These Nights tour, which was a great tour. They were fighting internally, and the label was screaming for a follow-up to something that was as hot as the One of These Nights thing. So their manager, the legendary Irvin Azoff, if you're familiar with music, you know who he is. He knew that they weren't ready to go back into the studio. He's like, these cats not ready. They need some time off. They need to be chilling. They needed to buy time to create what would eventually become Hotel California. So now we're talking about the time between Hotel California and it was From One of These Nights, which was the greatest hits. So the motivation wasn't artistic for what happened with the label. It was basically a survival tactic. So they decided to package their first 4 years of work just to keep the lights on. Little did they know they were about to create the best-selling album in American history. And I'm going to caveat that, because a lot of you cats are saying out there, wait a minute, I thought Michael Jackson had the best-selling album in American history. Well, he doesn't. Irvin Azoff said it was decided to put out the first greatest hits because they'd had enough of hits. According to other band members such as Don Felder, it's been said that none of the band members had any say into the decision to release the compilation album, which they complained was nothing more than a ploy by the record company to sell product without having to pay any additional production costs. So there was a lot into this decision to go into this album. Don Henley was unhappy that the songs like Tequila Sunrise and Desperado were lifted out of the context of the original album in a way that he thought was detrimental to the nature, quality, and meaning of the music. So he was saying stuff like, hey man, all the record company was worried about was their quarterly reports. They didn't give a shit whether the greatest hits album was good or not. They just wanted product. And hey, if you understand the business of music, you may be saying he's exactly right. Despite being unhappy with the album's release, the band nevertheless reasoned that it would give them more time to work on the Hotel California album, which was released later in 1976. So think about it. February 1976, the Greatest Hits album came out. Later in 1976, Hotel California album came out. Wow, I don't even know what to say about that. Banner year for the Eagles, that's for sure. So let's get the high flying story of the Eagles going with this smooth track right here. It's called Lion Eyes. So once again, you're tuned into The Spirit of 76 Part 2, where I'm going to be featuring the music of the Eagles, Earth, Wind & Fire, Fleetwood Mac, and Boz Scaggs. Y'all ready to get started? Let's get started, fam.
She tells him she must go out for the evening to comfort an old friend who's feeling down. But he knows where she's going and she's leaving. She is headed for the cheating side of town. You can't herself a strong one and stares out at the stars up in the sky. Another night, it's gonna be a long one. She draws a shade and hangs her head to cry. She wonders how it ever got this crazy. She thinks about a boy she knew in school. same old girl you used to be. You can't hide your lying eyes, and your smile is a thin disguise. I thought by now you'd realize there ain't no way to hide your lying eyes. There ain't no way to hide your lying eyes. Honey, you can't hide your lying eyes.
Wow. Listen to that. Beautiful harmonies. The Eagles. Lion Eyes. You know what? I've heard that song many, 1,000 times. And every time I listen to it, the words of it. And it's just a very melancholic song. It's about a woman cheating on a guy. But you kind of feel for her a little bit. You kind of maybe pulling for her because there's something happening in her life to where she feels like she needs to do what she needs to do. And you feel for the guy too, because he cares for her and she's not there anymore. A lot of things go into these songs, you know, when you think about, like, man, there's all kinds of things happening in life, of course. All right. Let's look at the production, because the album is a tale of two sounds. All right. So on the early tracks, you've got Glenn Johns at the helm. He was the guy who worked with the Stones and the Who. Yeah, Rolling Stones and the Who. He wanted the Eagles to be an organic, dusty country rock band. So he kept it raw. But as the band evolved, he brought in Bill Szymczyk. Bill was the slickness king. I guess that's what he was called. For, I guess, a slick sound, you know, like back in the 70s, there was a real slick sound of rock and country style rock and pop. So he brought in the high fidelity polished Los Angeles studio sound, the LA studio sound that defined the mid 70s. So when you listen to this compilation, you're hearing the evolution of the California sound. And if you know anything about music, you know exactly what the California sound is. You're hearing the shift from the porch to the penthouse. The way Bill layered those vocals, you heard them already, tripling harmonies to make them sound like a wall of silk. That became the standard of excellence for every soft rock producer for the next 50 years. So in 2026, we're still trying to get some acoustic guitars that sound that expensive, you know. There's a lot that can be said about the California sound and what exactly it is. But before I get into it, let's listen to another hot track from the Eagles. This one is something called Already Gone. Once again, this is episode number 2 of the Spirit of 76. Right now I'm focusing on the Eagles, so let's keep getting into it. The Flying High Eagles.
Let me tell you, I got some news for you.
Already gone. So I was going to be telling you about the California sound, right? So let's talk about it. I'm just not talking about where the studio is located when I say California. I'm talking about the soul, the essence of the music. So the California sound is an aesthetic of aspiration, sunshine, and hidden melancholy. Sounds like a lot of big words, huh? But it's true, because if you put it all together, the sound had evolved from the simple surf and sand tropes of the early 60s, when you had groups like Jan and Dean, the Beach Boys, and things like that. So look back on that, but it came off into something else. It came into a sophisticated, high fidelity machine. I mean, I just think about it like this. If you were around in the 70s, many or mostly all movies and TV shows were made in California. And with that, you saw sun, surf, bikinis, buffed out guys, and just the cool, laid-back sights and sounds of the good life out there in the coast of California. Things was real chill, y'all. In its purest form, the California sound is the sonic representation of the westward expansion of the American dream. You know, it's just how people were traveling towards California, to some leaving the east for whatever reason, or the south. It was characterized by the crystal clear production, complex vocal harmonies, and a relaxed, laid-back tempo that mirrors the pace of life on the Pacific coast. You know, California was chill like that. It's probably still chill like that. It's music that sounds like it was recorded in a room with $10,000 worth of mahogany and a view of the sunset, because usually that's kind of how it was. The evolution of the California sound can be summarized as this. From the surf and hot rod era of the early 60s, that was defined by the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, like I said, because they spoke loudly of freedom, fun, and youth. Now transition to Laurel Canyon, folk rock boom. Artists like the Byrds and Buffalo Springfield infused the sound with acoustic textures, cool, insightful lyrics, and the jangle of just a guitar. All right. This transition moved the sound from the beach to the hills. By the mid-70s, the California sound became synonymous with technical perfection. With the rise of legendary studios like the Record Plant and the Village Recorder, meant that the California sound was now defined by the best session musicians in the world. When they ruled, the session musicians with names like the Wrecking Crew and later on the Section. So artists like the Eagles, the Doobie Brothers, Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, and Fleetwood Mac are the artists to this day that will always be connected to what became known as the California sound. So that's just a little bit of background for you about what they say the California sound is. So again, 1976, Eagles was right there in the mix of it. They were transitioning from one album to another in 76. So in February 1976, they came out with this compilation album of all their hits up from 1971 to 1975, which became a monster album. Then they went into Hotel California. So just think about that transition in and of itself from this great band. And I love the thing about I love about the Eagles, and not only were they great singers, their harmonies melded well, but they were excellent musicians too, and songwriters. They wrote some great songs, and always going to keep them in my crate, just for the fact of who they are. So let's get off into another one of their tracks. This one's one of my favorites. You'll know it all right away. Blaze Street Music right here. Music of a Lifetime special series, The Spirit of 76. I'm your man, DJ CJ. We're talking about the Eagles right now. Let's get on down. I'll never forget listening to these songs on the radio when I was a kid, man, teenager, 13, 14, 15 years old. Listen to all these songs on the radio. We'll never, ever, ever forget it, for sure. I want to jump real quickly before I keep going, just give you some members of the band. The Eagles changed lineups quite a bit over the years. So here's the original 4 members of the Eagles. They were known as Glenn Frey, the late Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Randy Meisner, and Bernie Layden. They were all the original members who they had experience in the LA music scene. But somewhere along the way, they also got a cat named Timothy B. Schmidt. They also got a guy named Don Felder. They also got a cat named Joe Walsh. And later on in the years, they got Vince Gill, Deacon Fry, and Stuart Smith. So those gentlemen have all been members of this iconic band. Absolutely, absolutely outstanding music from the Eagles. Okay, so before I get off into the last track, let me give you some more information. So, let me tell you this real quick. You know, when I joined the Navy in 80, you know, went all over the world, did a lot of things, saw a lot of things, went a lot of places. And a lot of the places that I went to loved American music. And they had jukeboxes in their little drinking establishments or whatever. And they always had some Eagles on the jukebox, no doubt about it. All right. So now, here's an industry fact that you need to know. 1976, that was the year the Platinum album was born, the Platinum Award. So before this, we only had gold records. That means that 500,000 units were sold. So that was gold. When you sold 500,000 units, you got a gold plaque. All right. But the Eagles were moving units so fast that the RIAA, which is the Recording Industry and Association of America, RIAA, they had to invent a new category. It's like, we got to make something new. So this album right here became the first ever platinum certified record in music history. So I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. The Eagles' greatest hits, 1971 to 1975, was the first album to ship platinum. That means that all of the distributors, wholesalers, those who purchased the record to resale, they bought 1 million copies of the album before it hit the store. That's how they did music back then. You would contact the radio company or the distributor would. They would take the order from the basically from whoever was selling it, whether it was Camelot Music or Peaches Music or whoever was big back in those days, Warehouse Music, Tower Records could have been. They were taking orders and they were saying, hey, give me this many units. So this album sold 1 million units before it even hit the stores. So what impact did this have? It changed the industry psychology. It proved that a greatest hits package wasn't just a filler. Not just a filler, it was a band. It was a brand, It was a brand. Before I give you the sky-high numbers this album produced, let's get down to another hit, which is going to be the last for this one right here, for this segment. Nope, I'll have one more after this one. Let's get down to Take It to the Limit. One of my favorite songs from them about it, because it's just so smooth. Check it out. There's just really not a lot of words that can describe the impact of the Eagles, what they've done. Now, I already told you, but I'm going to tell it to you one more time. This was the first album to receive the RIAA Platinum certification, which was introduced in 1976 to recognize albums that ship at least 1 million copies. This was the first one to do it. So they started a trend. They started it. They did it. And it's still being done today. Remember earlier I told you how it was sold. It's the best-selling album in the United States. And people say, no, it was Thriller. So here's the deal. The Eagles' Greatest Hits 1971 to 1975 is the best-selling album in the United States. It sold almost 45 million copies. Now, worldwide, Thriller is the best-selling album all around the world. Just a little bit more. This album was ranked number 4 on Billboard's year-end album for 1976, and in September 1975, it broke the 500-week mark. That's non-consecutive of being on the charts. 500 weeks. So the RIAA has certified this album platinum 40 times, indicating it sold at least 40 million records. Worldwide, the album has sold nearly 45 million copies as of 2020, making it the best-selling greatest hits album, greatest hits by any artist, and the 4th best-selling album of all time. So like I said, they've done monster business with this record, and that's why I'm giving it its props. You gotta give them its props, man. 1976, they created a monster thing. So I'm gonna get off into the last one here. Let you check it out. Like I said, they did some dope stuff before I finish off it and move into the next artist. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all, right here. Blaze Street Music, music of a lifetime. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, chew.
Sparks fly from her fingertips. Echoed voices in the night. She's a restless spirit on an endless flight. Ooh, witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, witchy woman, she got the moon in her eyes.
Bewitching Woman. Another one that I used to hear on the radio. And, you know, like they would play some of these songs like late at night. You'd be thinking it's all kind of spooky shit happening because these cats are singing these songs. Crazy. All right. 50 years later, why does it matter who they are, what they're doing? Because they're the Eagles. And they've made their mark in music history, no doubt about it. This record has stood up and stood still as a true sonic masterpiece and testament to the California sound. So by consolidating their early hits into one perfect flow, they ensured these songs would never die. In 2026, when you see a legacy act managing their catalog or a pop star dropping a complete collection, they are following the Eagles' blueprint from 1976. You know, it remains a masterclass in vocal harmony. Listen to them in rhythmic precision. You know, Don Henley was always in the pocket on them drums and the bass players was always on it. So this record that proved that soft rock could have the muscle of a stadium anthem. These guys were selling out stadiums all over the country, you know, selling out thousands of people. So when you listen to the bluesy rock and then the bumping of one of these nights, they just had that groove. They had that thing going on. It bought them the time that they needed to go into the studio and come out with Hotel California. I mean, wow. But for me, you know, but for a lot of fans, this is the definitive Eagles experience. So a lot of Eagles fans just strictly just love this record in and of itself. I like a lot of. I mean, I like it. I have the album, and I have two of their other albums. I have Hotel California and have another one. I have them on vinyl. So, and I have them on CD. So, hey, that's my testament for the Eagles, telling you about what they did in 1976. And I hope you liked it. And I'm going to move on to my next act here real soon. Yeah, we're going to continue the journey with my favorite group of all time, the elements of the universe, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. Stay tuned, Blaze Street Music right here.
Imagine a year where every time you turned on the radio, you heard a masterpiece. It's 1976. From the spiritual fire of Earth, Wind, and Fire to the meticulous genius of Stevie Wonder. From the thin white duke himself, David Bowie, to the record-breaking harmonies of the Eagles. 1976 wasn't just a year on the calendar. It was the blueprint for every beat, every vocal, and every groove we're still playing today in 2026.
Take you back.
Blaze Street Music is taking you behind the booth for a special 3-part series, The Class of 76.
All right, here I am back at it. The year is 1976, and the album is Gratitude. That's what I'm talking about right now. One of my favorite albums by my favorite group, Earth, Wind, and Fire. All right, so you got to keep your head up. You got to keep your head to the sky because we're hitting a high note, baby. Right now, we're hitting a high note. This is a very special segment for me because I'm going to share some music with you from my favorite group of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, since 2022, I've been doing this podcast, and there are only certain artists that I have on the podcast that have more than one album, and Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of them. So when I first got started 4 years ago, I did Last Days in Time. That was the first album from them that I had ever done. But they have other ones on the list that I'm going to do. But it's right now that I'm going to talk about another one of my favorite albums by them, which is the live release Gratitude. So let me tell you something. If you want to know about peak musical power sounds like, when they do it, you put on the Earth, Wind, and Fire album, but you put on Gratitude and you're going to hear it. So to understand the magnitude of this album, you have to look at where the band was in 1975. They were already a supergroup. Why? Because they come off of the massive success of That's the Way of the World. I mean, that was the monster record back in 1975. I'll never forget it. I'll always remember it because I had visited my auntie Heidi in Hartford, Connecticut during that summer, and that album was all over the radio. So check it out. Earth, Wind & Fire was the first black act to top the Billboard album and singles chart simultaneously with Shining Star, the song that they made. They were playing stadiums. They had magician Doug Henning designing stunts for their shows, where Verdine White would elevate while playing the bass. I saw that live. I saw it in person. Yes, I did. And they were selling out arenas everywhere. But Maurice White felt like the studio records, as perfect as they were, just didn't capture what he wanted. It didn't capture the feel, the essence of what he wanted. It was written somewhere. It was like a religious energy or some type of religious service energy, you know, like being in church. That's what they're saying, type of stuff with their live albums. So the motivation for Gratitude was simple. It was a thank you note to the fans and a window into the Earth, Wind & Fire arena experience. Yes, Earth, Wind & Fire Live was an experience. Whew. So before we go more into the impact of what Gratitude did, let's check out something from this release, just so you know the magic it delivered. So I'm going to play something for you so you know the magic that it delivered, and you'll get a feeling for it. Now, this song that I'm going to play was actually first recorded with Ramsey Lewis on his album Sun Goddess in 1974, but I'm finna play you the live version right here. Blaze Street Music, saluting Earth, Wind & Fire from 1976.
Beautiful. Right now, we'd like to do a special song for you. A song we had the pleasure of recording with Ramsey Lewis. Check this out. One of y'all can clap your hands and see. Till you're getting down.
Man, oh man, oh man. You just don't know. I've seen them in concert 6 times. Yeah. They're going to be here in Hawaii in June. I'm not sure if me and my wife are going to go yet right now. But if not, I still have enough memories for a lifetime for sure. No doubt about it. Okay, so Maurice White was a visionary. You could call him the preacher of the group if you wanted to say something like that. Definitely the visionary. But the secret weapon was a man named Charles Stepney. Now, if you don't know the name Charles Stepney, then you need to. He was a master of ornate soul. Just a name that they gave it. But basically, he brought orchestral, cinematic flourish to the band sound, all kinds of things to it. I remember reading the liner notes from a lot of the records and seeing, well, at that time, seeing his name and seeing different people's names, Oscar Brashear and all the horns and strings that they had. So evidently Charles Stepney brought this sound. So together, Maurice and Charles co-produced the new studio tracks on Gratitude. They weren't just making funk, they were making high art. So Stepney's arrangements for the Phoenix Horns, that's Phoenix, Phenix, not Phoenix as in Arizona, was Don Myrick, Louis Satterfield, and Andrew Woolfolk. They were so complex and tight that they sounded like a single massive instrument. You know, unfortunately, Charles Stepney passed away in May of '76. So Gratitude was his final album, and it was his last testament to the incredible partnership that him and Maurice had. So also on this project, they brought in a guy named Joe Wissert to help capture the live recordings, ensuring that the transition between the stage and the studio was seamless. So that was another part of that wonderful conglomerate of people who worked on this album and did great things. So I remember the first time I saw them in concert, it was during the tour for the All in All release, and I think that was in 1976, and I was still in high school. So I can't remember if my parents had to drive me all the way over to Greensboro to see them, because I lived in Winston-Salem. So Greensboro was about 30 minutes away. And so I could see them, or whether at that particular time I had my license and I could drive, but it might have been in 78. I think it was in 78, something like that. I can't remember, but I remember the show for sure, because I remember in that show, they came out of the floor. You know what I'm saying? If you can just think about that, they came out of the floor, and then it's like they had 3 pyramids. It was incredible, man. It was just crazy. At that particular time in 1976, when Gratitude came out, Earth, Wind, and Fire was just getting started, y'all. They was just spreading their wings, because the word was going around that they were just going to be a mega group in the industry, and they knew it out in Hollywood where they was making music at too. So I think Caribou Sounds was one of their studios. So in Sun Goddess, you heard some of the smooth jazz, Afro rhythmic leanings of what they could do. So now we want to talk about how they talk about love. What do you say? You want to get some reasons why? Reasons why? Reasons that we feel. Let's get on.
Been played
firing from the alto horn. He plays so beautiful, don't you agree? He said, it's all about love. It's all about love, ooh, baby. It's all, ooh, it's all about love. Check this out. La, 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 la. You hear me? La, 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 la. La, 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 la. So we just tell them together. I go, do we hear? Do we hear?
Oh yeah, that song always gets the crowd crazy in a frenzy whenever they do that song in the show. Every single time, all the time, and there's a reason why, because it's a beautiful song. It's totally awesome, that record, man. I love it. I love it. You know, while the live tracks were at the heart of the album, the new studio cuts that came out on side 4 were the soul of the radio dial in 1976. The song called Sing a Song, written by Maurice and guitarist Al McKay, became an instant anthem of optimism, and it's still one of their favorite songs to sing in concert today. Everybody sings to these records. They know the lyrics. So when we see them in concert and they do it for us to get involved and to sing with it. It hit number 1 on the R&B charts and number 5 on the pop charts. It was a perfect blend of a driving disco beat and that classic Earth, Wind & Fire horn fire. And I think you may hear it later. And then you have a song called Can't Hide Love. Originally written by Skip Scarborough, Earth, Wind & Fire took this track and turned it into a master class of vocal layering. The way Maurice's baritone and Philip's legendary falsetto weave together in and out, and that fade out, you know, that's producer's gold right there. Every neo-soul artist in 2026 is still trying to figure out how they got these harmonies to sound that deep and that smooth. See, for me, all of the songs on this album were just simply awesome, but over time, one of the studio tracks that has stood the test of time. Like I said, I've seen them 6 times in concert, and each time I've seen them, I know all the songs that the crowd wants to hear, and there's no doubt that Can't Hide Love is one of those songs.
pretend there's nothing there. Girl, I look in your eyes, see you care. So why not stop trying to run and hide? You won't find out if you never try. You want my love? I'll let you out. You want my love? Well, I bet ya.
You know what? That's one of the best songs ever made in the history of music. One of the best. I'm going to be doing a show when I'm going to be talking about my favorite songs. Not just the album, but just all the songs. And that's going to be on there, no doubt about it. Woo, man, every time I play that song, I get chills. It's just, my skin just, oh man, it sets me on fire. So when Gratitude dropped, it just didn't climb the charts. It owned the charts. Yes. Come here, charts. I own you. That album hit number 1 on Billboard 200 for 3 weeks and dominated the top soul albums chart for 6 weeks. It eventually went triple platinum, selling over 3 million copies in an era when that was pretty much almost unheard of for a live heavy project. Now, I've already talked to you about one live album that did pretty good. And so this is just another one. So at the 18th Grammy Awards in 1976, Earth, Wind & Fire took home the Grammy for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals for Shining Star. Even though that song was from the previous studio album, the live version on Gratitude gave it a second life that was even more powerful. So they were sweeping the American Music Awards and the Soul Train Awards too that year. So like I said, Earth, Wind & Fire weren't just a band, they were a gold standard for the industry. So why does Gratitude still resonate today? Because it's one of the few albums that successfully captures positive energy as a physical force. You know, let's not fake the funk. Earth, Wind & Fire, their lyrics were always positive and good. The message was good. When they gave interviews, it was always good stuff. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were faking the funk. They were living the life. I had seen different interviews with them, both on TV and written, like in Ebony and Jet magazine, and they always spoke about their lifestyle, you know, no drugs and alcohol and eating good foods and things like that. For a black group back in that time, it was just something that we all looked up to, something that we all, as young people, we appreciated, and the music itself spoke for itself too. So, you know, I mean, it's just like, wow. when you hear it, you can hear a lot of positivity in Maurice's kalimba solos too, bringing that African thumb piano into the American mainstream. Years ago, when Earth, Wind & Fire was out, I think one of my cousins or a friend of his had a kalimba. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, the kalimba is a very intricate instrument. You hold it in your hands and it has like these wire prongs, and they each have a different note to it, and it's really hard to play. But Maurice White played it. Man, he killed it. So you hear the kalimba on the New World Symphony song that's on the album, where they blend classical structures with deep funk and all kinds of stuff that can be said. So the legacy of Earth, Wind & Fire is everlasting. Unfortunately, we lost Maurice White in 2016, but in 2026, we see Earth, Wind & Fire's influencing everything from the big band stage shows of Bruno Mars to the spiritual jazz funk of artists like Kamasi Washington. You know, Gratitude showed us that you could be the tightest band in the world and still have a heart full of soul. I like that. You know, Gratitude was a celebration of the elements Earth, Wind & Fire, and it remains the ultimate in my Music of a Lifetime collection. So later on in other podcasts, I will be featuring more music from Earth, Wind & Fire. There's no doubt about it, because they are up there. But right now, I'm going to play this last song, and I'm going to move on to the next artist. Hopefully I can get it all done in this episode. If not, I'll have to break it off and do a part 2 for this episode. So thank you for hanging out with me. This is Earth, Wind & Fire. Sing a song. Yo!
Shout out, sing a song, it'll make a way.
Street where the classics meet the new. 50 years later, the vibe is still so true. In 7-6, the sound was epic and grand. The architects of soul across the land. From Stevie's genius, a masterpiece was born. A golden standard lighting up the morn. The stadium rock gods came alive on stage, writing history on a brand new page. The groove is heavy and the horns are loud, still making masterpieces for the modern crowd. Blaze Street Music presents Music of a Lifetime. Yeah, music of a lifetime.
All right, so here we are with the next group, the next part of the show. Episode number 2 right here. What I'm giving you in the spirit of 76. So now I'm finna talk to you about a group named Fleetwood Mac. Have you ever heard of them cats? We're going to be talking about 1975, 1976 self-titled masterpiece by Fleetwood Mac. Now, some people look at it and they call it the White Album, but it's also known as Fleetwood Mac. So in early 75, this band was a ghost. They had gone through dozens of members, especially vocalists. It's like they couldn't keep no vocalists in the group. They had gone through some legal battles over their name, and they were essentially a blues rock relic that the world was moving past. And if you think about other artists that I've even talked about in that time frame, you would say to yourself, well, why weren't they successful or being successful? But something just wasn't really happening. Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie were at a breaking point. Their motivation was simple: survival. They weren't looking to conquer the world. They were looking for a reason to stay together. And because Mick Fleetwood started the band back in England, and basically that's who he brought Christine and John with him from there, succeeding in America was his number one thing. So he was scouting for a new recording studio, and he ended up going to Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California. When the engineer, a guy named Ken Olsen, played him a track by a struggling duo called Buckingham Nicks. Ken Olsen had started this session as a way to say for Mick to hear the sound. You know, he played something by Buckingham Nicks, and he just wanted to play them through the speakers so Mick could hear them. But he also wanted him to hear the connection between Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, who weren't well known at that time. So at first it wasn't clear, but what was clear was Mick Fleetwood didn't just hear a guitar player in Lindsey Buckingham. He heard the future. So he invited Lindsey to join the group, to join Fleetwood Mac, and Lindsey said, yeah, sure, I think that's cool, but only if my girlfriend Stevie Nicks can come too. Sounds like something kind of like, oh, so you give me an ultimatum. Mick Fleetwood was like, cool, all good with me. And it didn't faze Mick Fleetwood at all. And that ultimatum was the big bang for the music of a lifetime that would cement the legend of Fleetwood Mac, y'all. Definitely. So with they was coming to say this album basically was going to set them off with this group. So the overall success of Fleetwood Mac in 1976, the legacy of them that began in 1975 would emerge into a band that has at least one, maybe more releases on all of the best of major music and art critics releases. When they say the best of, all of the critics and music and major music people say Fleetwood Mac has at least 1, 2, possibly 3. If it was a best of 50 or best of 100, you can bet Fleetwood Mac is right there. They are simply one of the greatest American bands of all time. But for right here, right now, I'm going to spoil you with a few songs from their White Album release, or the self-titled Fleetwood Mac release in 1976. And let's go with it. Check it out. A song called Say You Love Me.
Tingling right from my head to my toes.
All right, so let's talk about the production a little bit. They stayed at Sound City and worked with producer Keith Olsen. So now for my producers out there, you know the Sound City legend. It was all about that Neve 8028 mixing console. You know what I'm saying? But the real Fleetwood Mac sound was about what they didn't use. In 1976, most rock was getting big and echoey. But Keith Olsen and Lindsey Buckingham wanted it dry. They wanted nothing, no reverb, no echo. They just wanted everything right in your ear. They wanted the vocals right in your ear. They stripped away the reverb and the room sound to create this tight, intimate, expensive California sound. There's that term again, California sound. This drive revolution made tracks like Rhiannon and Landslide feel like Stevie Nicks was sitting on the edge of your bed singing directly to you. And when you hear them, it's going to be really evident what they're talking about, because the music won't sound far away. It's going to sound really, really close. And that's what they were doing with the sound of it right there. So that's really a technical way of putting that. They took a lot of gadgets out of the mix. It was a technical pivot towards minimalism that made the band sound 10 years ahead of their time. So here's a true gem from 1976. Let's just sit back and listen to the crispy yet gentle, soft hoarseness. And then I'm saying that in a kind way, because Stevie Nicks' voice has a beautiful, beautiful tone to it in this cut right here. It's called Landslide.
Took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Ah, take my love, take it down. Ah, climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide bring it down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, a landslide bring it down.
It was no secret that Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks' relationship was a very rocky one, to say the least. They went through a lot of ups and downs together as a couple, and of course they ended up never. They never were together. When Stevie Nicks hit the 80s, she was married again to someone else, and she did very, very well. Lindsey Buckingham did pretty good in the 80s too. A lot of the artists that I'm featuring, like for example the Eagles, when the Eagles came into the 80s, Don Henley, Glenn Frey had very successful careers in the 80s and things like that. So from 1976 to the 80s, things did pretty good for a lot of them. But Lindsey Buckingham didn't just join the band, he became the architect. So his motivation was to take the loose, bluesy feel of the old Fleetwood Mac and give it a pop structure. So he was obsessed with layering vocals. He would spend hours perfecting the vocal harmonies, making sure the blend between his voice and Stevie's rasp and Christine's smooth alto was flawless. And if you listen to these tracks again, like I say, you can hear the production and you can hear how those things came to be true, because their sound was just outstanding. So this was the birth of the California soft rock standard. I've talked about it already. This group is a part of it. It was about precision. You notice every snare hit from Mick Fleetwood's drum kit was gated, and every guitar lick was intentional. They took the jam band energy and refined it into like a diamond selling formula. It was just something that was really, really good. So by the time 1976 rolled around, this album was a slow burn success, but eventually hitting #1 on the Billboard 200 more than a year after its release. So it took some time, but it got there. So, and it proved that if you got that blend right, you could own the airwaves. Remember what I said earlier, Fleetwood Mac was envisioned as a blues band. Remember I said that? I said it, but I'm not really sure if you really understood what I'm saying. But I'm going to play this song for you, and I'm going to let you tell me if it sounds like some blues stuff. See, the Eagles came from a blues background too. And the next artist after this, Boz Scaggs, a lot of blues intones into it. So let's get off into this one right here. Listen to Christine McVie talk about her sugar daddy. Check it out. said, I'm not asking for love. I just need a little sympathy. Because I already got somebody that loves me. I just need you to kind of, take care of me. Wow. I mean, that was 1976 and she was singing about that stuff. And then when you kind of look at some things going on maybe online, you might see some different stuff on social media where people are talking about, yeah, I need a sugar daddy. Alrighty then. I got one more song from Fleetwood Mac coming up. Do you know what it is? Can you guess what it is? I'm thinking you know already. So why does this 1976 album still matter in 2026? Because the album is a blueprint for the indie sound. So every time you hear a modern artist using dry vocals and acoustic textures with a heavy pop beat, they're probably borrowing from the Buckingham Nicks era. So this record took Fleetwood Mac from a struggling blues act to the biggest band on the planet. It set the stage for Rumors, which was their next album after this. Rumors, mega album. But the White Album is still where the soul was reborn. It was 5 people from different worlds, blues, and American folk, finding a common language in a dry room in Van Nuys, California. 1976 was the year the Mac came back. Not Mark Morrison returning the Mac, but it was 1976 returning the Mac. And the Mac hasn't left us since. So I'm going to close out this segment of the episode with Fleetwood Mac and one of their most absolute, well-loved and iconic songs. And I'm going to see you on the other side after this song right here with my salute to Boz Scaggs.
Bird is light and who will be her lover?
Blaze Street where the classics meet the new. 50 years later, the vibe is still so true. In 76, the sound was epic and grand. The architects of soul across the land. From Stevie's genius, a masterpiece was born. A golden standard, lighting up the morn. The stadium rock gods came alive on stage, writing history on a brand new page. The groove is heavy and the horns are loud, still making masterpieces for the modern crowd. Blaze Street Music presents Music of a Lifetime. Yeah, music of a lifetime.
All right. We're on the final segment of the episode right now. And I'm going to be getting off into Boz Scaggs. Probably artists that a lot of people don't know about, but if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And there's really nothing more that can be said about it because he's definitely left his mark. And I want to talk about it a little bit. So I'm back in the booth, and I'm going to be talking about the missing link of 76. His name is Boz Scaggs. So here's a quick snapshot for you. Silk Degrees is the 7th studio album by Boz Scaggs. It was released on February 18th of 1976 on the Columbia Records label. The album peaked at number 2 and spent 115 weeks on the Billboard 200. It has been certified 5 times platinum by the RIAA and remains Scaggs' best-selling album. Now, Boz spent the late 60s and early 70s as a gritty blues rocker kind of guy. A lot of those guys are around back in them. He was in a Steve Miller band, Fly Like an Eagle. He was a guitarist, but Boz was restless. So what was his motivation in 1976? He wanted to basically marry his Texas soul vocals with the highest absolute level of studio precision. He wanted to put those two together, and he was looking for a sound that was sleek, sophisticated, and tight. And during that period of time, there was a lot of that going around because I've already talked about the California sound, remember? So he didn't want just a band, he wanted a machine that had a soul. Yes, a soul. So in order for him to get it, he went to LA and handpicked a crew. Handpicked, very important. Boz Scaggs handpicked a crew of young session prodigies that were the talk of the town at the time. See, he didn't know it yet, but he was hiring the foundation of a band that would define the next decade of music history. What does that mean? I don't know. The story of how Boz will end up working with these musicians is one of the best in music, and I'm going to get to it. But before I do, I want to check out a track, and it's called What Can I Say? Again, this is DJ CJ. You're tuned into my podcast, Music of a Lifetime. This episode is episode number 2 of a 3-part series that I'm doing called The Spirit of 76. I'm going back 50 years, y'all, and giving you some of the best music from 1976. 1976 was when we celebrated our 200th anniversary, and this year we'll be celebrating our 250th. So I'm just trying to get off into that with some music. Is that a tight sound for you? Okay, does it sound pretty tight? I think it does. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about who they are. And you're going to be pretty surprised. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you know the story. All right, so Boz walked into Daveland Sound Studios then, and he met the Golden Trio. So you had a guy named David Page on keyboards, Jeff Porcaro on drums, and David Hungate on the bass. These guys were already session aces playing for the likes of Steely Dan, but they were essentially kids. Jeff was barely 21. And David Page wasn't just a player. He became Boz's primary creative partner. Page co-wrote 5 out of the 10 tracks on the Silk Degrees album, including the monster tracks Lowdown and Lido Shuffle. He brought the Toto DNA, that blend of rock power, jazz, harmony, and R&B pocket, straight into Boz's world. David Page famously said later on in the interview that without the freedom of Boz Scaggs that Boz gave them on Silk Degrees, Toto might not have happened quite the same way. So yes, Toto. These are 3 members of the group Toto, and the other 2 will be coming later on, and I'll mention them. Toto was born right there in the studio. This was their laboratory. This was their missing link, as David was describing, where they learned how to make nerdy, sophisticated musical musicianship sound like a commercial hit. So let me give you another one of these golden sunset cuts from the album. It's called Lido Shuffle. Check it out.
Lido missed the boat that day. He left the shack, but that was all he missed, and he ain't coming back. At a Tombstone bar in a juke joint car, he made a stop, just long enough to grab a handle off the top. Next stop, Chi-Town. Lido put the money down and let him roll. He said, one more job, ought to get it. One last shot, before we quit it. One for the road, Lido. Whoa, he's for the money, he's for the show. Lido the way, oh no, no, Lido. Whoa, he said, one more job, ought to get it. One last shot, before we quit it. One more to go. Lido be running, having great big fun until he got the note saying toe the line or blow, and that was all she wrote. He be making like a feline, heading for the borderline, going for broke, saying one more hit ought to do it. This joint ain't nothing to it. One more for the road.
remember when I was in high school hearing that song for sure. No doubt about it. Lido Shuffle on the radio. You know, it always had a nice groove, and I was thinking to myself, I mean, I didn't know who Boz Scaggs was. And then when this next song I played, even then I knew the song, but I didn't know the guy. So remember what I was saying earlier, what Boz did with the members of Toto in the studio. But see, the story doesn't end there in the studio. When Boz went on tour to support the album, the Toto nucleus came with him. To fill out the sound for the road, check this out, good story. To fill out the sound for the road, they brought in two more friends. A 19-year-old guy named Steve Lukather on guitar, and Jeff's brother, Steve Porcaro, on the synthesizers. So I just want to let that soak in for a little bit for you. That's who went on tour with Boz Scaggs. Toto was his band. It's amazing, man. It's like, can you imagine the members of Toto sitting on a tour bus together, writing right night after night, perfecting that slick West Coast sound across America. The chemistry was so undeniable that Columbia Records offered them a contract without an audition. So Columbia was like, you guys want to get signed? And I think Clive Davis was still at Columbia at the time. The industry saw what they were doing for Boz, and they said, well, whatever that magic is, we want some of it. We want a whole album of it. So by 1977, they officially became Toto, but it was a class of 76 where they graduated. So let me play for you right now the single most tremendous song that Boz Scaggs had in the beginning of members of Toto. They created and gave to us. It's a smash hit. Check it out.
Jones for that. This running with the Joneses, boy, just ain't where it's at. You're gonna come back around. to the sad, sad truth, the dirty low down. Got you thinking like that, boy.
Okay, so check this out. If you've been in the club, R&B club, black club, soul club, you know about that song. You know all about it. You've heard it before. But what you don't know is this. The success of that song happened it came about by happenstance. Because what happened was, it was on the album. Now, it was never released as a single. Because albums came out and the record label was the one that pretty much said what songs were going to be singles and what songs weren't. This song was never destined to be a single. So a DJ in Cleveland decided he liked that song so much that he wanted to play it. And I'll go ahead and say it to you like this. Rock radio wasn't playing this song, so it may give you a few hints and some clues about who's playing, who liked the song and who played it. Because if you hear the song, then you know what the song is about. It's funky, it's groovy, it's got funk and soul in it. So black radio was playing it. So the DJ played the song straight off the album when it debuted and he debuted it on his show. And from there, other black and R&B oriented stations around that area and beyond, Detroit, places like that, began playing the song, and the rest is history. The world felt that magic in a big way too. Low Down became a massive crossover anthem, hitting number 3 on the pop chart and number 5 on the R&B charts. At the 19th Grammy Awards, the industry gave them the ultimate stamp of approval. Low Down won the best R&B song. Can you believe that? The best R&B song. Outstanding, which was a huge win for Boz Scaggs and David Paich. It was a statement. Blue Eyed Soul could have a groove so authentic that even the R&B charts had to say, "Yo, we give props to you, man." They had to bow down. Silk Degrees itself was nominated for Album of the Year, and their producer Joe Wishart, remember that name, was nominated for Producer of the Year. It was a total sweep of credibility for the slick sound that they were inventing. Now, if you listen to Jeff Porcaro on that track, that's where the Porcaro is called the Purdy Shuffle. Well, we know Bernard Purdy is a drummer, has a shuffle called the Purdy Shuffle, but that was called the Porcaro Shuffle. In the beginning, when you heard it go do, that's called the Jeff Porcaro Shuffle. See, I'm a drummer, so I can talk about stuff like that. All right, so when you listen to Boz Scaggs today in 2026, you just don't hear a solo artist. You hear the birth of a supergroup. Hear the moment that Jeff Porcaro's shuffle that I just mentioned and David Paich's arrangements changed the rules of the studio forever. Some would say it, I don't say it, but it doesn't matter what I say. That Boz Scaggs is the father of Toto, and Silk Degrees is the prequel that gave us their music of a lifetime, the music of a lifetime for Toto. But no matter what you say, the music of 1976 reveals some of the greatest supergroups in American history, some of the greatest songs that will last forever, and the sound of that time would become a lasting foundation of musicianship and production quality that may have been unheard of since then, before and since. So for now, I'm going to be signing off of this episode of the series. This is episode number 2, and the series is called Spirit of 76, Class of 76. But stay tuned for the 3rd and final episode coming up probably in about another week or so. That's going to be coming to you, and I'm going to be laying down some tracks from Marvin Gaye, David Bowie, and Boston. So in the meantime, between time, y'all be loving and kind, take care of each other, and I wish you peace, love, and blessings of your lifetime. Chew!
It's 1976. From the spiritual fire of earth, wind, and fire to the meticulous genius of Stevie Wonder. From the thin white duke himself, David Bowie, to the record-breaking harmonies of the Eagles. 1976 wasn't just a year on the calendar. It was the blueprint for every beat, every vocal, and every groove we're still playing today in 2026.
Take you back.
Blaze Street Music is taking you behind the booth for a special 3-part series, The Class of 76.